Welcome to the Athletic Brewing Post-Race Report. I'm Marina Carfrey. Geelong 70.3 was the number one stop on the Ironman Pro Series, and the pros delivered a great day of racing. Let's take a look at the Pro Men's highlights. So it was a beautiful morning here in Geelong. The Pro Men were off to a clean start. 50 men entered the water. Wetsuit legal swim this morning, 19 degrees Celsius. We had a really beautiful morning for a triathlon in Geelong. The men staying fairly bunched up for the majority of the first half of the swim, and a distinct two packs forming late in the swim. We had Josh Ferris leading with Aaron Royal up in the front there, as well as Matt Hauser, early leaders. First out of the water was, in fact, Josh Ferris from Australia. We had Aaron Royal there, Matt Hauser as well, out of the water. Into Ruby transition. Braden Curry was in there. Josh Ferris making quick work of transition and out onto the Zoot bike course. Josh from Australia, our early leader in the Geelong 70.3. A very talented young Australian athlete with big hopes in racing the 70.3 distance. We had Braden Curry come around. Josh Ferris a few Ks in. Braden getting the youngster going. That pack in the front was 12 strong at the beginning of the bike. Matt Hauser having a mechanical early and having to finish his day. But a very strong group of men pushing this bike. Braden Curry, of course, one of the aggressors as always on the front of the bike course. Back Josh Ferris there, Yelagines in there, our Ironman 70.3 defending world champion, Aaron Royal in there too. And into T2, that was Ben Hill. He was first off the bike. He took a little bit of a gap from the main group. He had his own transition all to himself. Ben Hill from Australia. And then it was a stream of men, 10 strong. Yelagines leading the way there. We had Jake Birtwistle in that group. Aaron Royal. Yelagines, though, the defending world champ, running away with this race. Phenomenal performance from the reigning world champ. Kenji Nina and Taylor Reid running together for the majority of the run too, as we come up on these two men. Taylor Reid in front of Kenji. They are in second and third place, locked together for the majority of this run. Kenji Nina in the yellow glasses, Taylor Reid beside him. But it was Yelagines taking the tape here today in Geelong 70.3, the first stop in the Ironman Pro Series circuit. A great race, 107, clocking at 107 for that half marathon. Phenomenal performance from him. We had Jake Birtwistle running through and taking that second place position. And Taylor Reid rounding out the podium for third place. Taylor Reid from New Zealand. And our top three, Yelagines, Jake Birtwistle, and Taylor Reid taking the podium for Geelong 70.3. All right, and here's a look at the current Ironman Pro Series professional top 10 point standings after the race. Obviously, Yelageen's taking maximum points here today, 2,500. You know, the first score on the board, so not a whole lot but to talk about, but crucial first points, first score on the board. This is the opening race of an 18 race series here in Geelong. Okay, and now we're going to go over and take a look at the pro women's highlights for Geelong 70.3. Pro women wetsuit legal swim as well. They were off to a clean start. Around 20 women on the start line here today. A relatively small field from what we see, but we had Teresa Adam getting out to a fast start with Hannah Knighton, Natalie Van Coverdon, and Hannah Berry. They were the four strongest in the swim. They had a 1 minute lead on the next pack. Teresa Adam out of the water first from New Zealand. We had Hannah Knighton, Natalie Van Coverdon, and Hannah Berry. These women all leading the way into the Ruby transition. Natalie Van Coverdon out onto the bike and in the lead. She is looking fantastic. On the Zoot bike course, she had company though. Hannah Berry right behind her. Hannah Knighton, who was out of the water with these women, slipped back a little bit on the bike, but we had Teresa Adam as well in that front group. These women riding very strong in the open miles of the Zoot bike course. We had a chase pack of Regan Holyoke, Grace Tech, Gabrielle Limkus, Holly Lane, among others. They're a minute plus back. But we had Hannah Berry into transition 2, into the Ruby transition 2, first off the bike, followed by Natalie Van Coverdon. Regan Holyoke was able to bridge the gap, the only athlete able to bridge the gap up to this front pack. That's Natalie Van Coverdon there, and that's Teresa Adam getting in. So 4 women strong into transition. Hannah Berry leading the way. But Natalie Van Coverdon making quick work of these opening miles and putting her stamp on this race early. Hannah Berry hanging in tough, just 100 or 200 meters behind. Natalie just cruising away with this race today. Hannah Berry from New Zealand finished 4th in the Ironman Pro Series last year, looking for a really good score here today in Geelong. Of course, every second matters for these athletes, so if she can get as close to first place as possible and maximum points, that'll be a fantastic score for her to start her Ironman Pro Series campaign for 2025. And it was the young Natalie Van Coverdon shifting her focus to 70.3 distance this year and doing it perfectly. Natalie Van Coverdon from Australia taking the tape here in Geelong, the first stop of the Ironman Pro Series. We had Hannah Berry coming in second. Taking second place here today in Geelong, Hannah Berry from New Zealand. A great first race of the season for Hannah. And running through the field, Grace Tech running 1:18 here today in Geelong. She was a little ways down, didn't have the best bike, but she put those run legs on and put them to work. Another podium finish for Grace Tech. And this is your podium, Athletic Brewing podium. We have Natalie Van Coverdon, Hannah Berry, and Grace Tech. And let's take a look at the Ironman Pro Series Professional Women Top 10 Point Series. After today's race here in Geelong, we had Natalie Van Coverdon, of course, taking max points at 2,500. Hannah Berry with a really great score, 2,470 points for Hannah. Grace Tech, 2,397 points for Grace. Of course, this is the first stop on the Ironman Pro Series. Much more racing to go, but a phenomenal start for these athletes. One score on the board. This has been the Athletic Brewing post-race report.